Hello everyone. If I ask you who is the Prime Minister of the UK now, what would you say? I expect the most common answer would be Google it. But what happens after I Google it? I get different URLs, summary, and recommendations. And then, for instance, if I click on one of the images such as Boris Johnson, who is the current Prime Minister of the UK, I get more information about him, most of which is curated from Wikipedia, which I think most of us knows as a major source of online and free encyclopedia. Here, on one hand, we have UK politicians, and on the other hand, we have citizens from the UK. And in this research, I am going to present how Wikipedia is acting as a bridge between these two. In this paper of Wikipedia and Westminster, I am going to talk about the quality and dynamics of Wikipedia pages about UK politicians. This work is in collaboration with researchers from King's College London, Wikipedia, and UK Parliament. We have Miriam, Redi, Nishanth, Sastry, Edward Wood, and Blick, and I am Pushkal Agarwal presenting this work. More details about the data and the data we share from this research study can be requested from the link in the top right. Before going ahead, let me introduce you to the UK Parliament. This is the current layout of House of Commons. In blue, it is the Conservative Party which is leading the government, and in red, it is the Labour Party in the opposition with some small parties like Scottish National Party and so forth. Prominent MPs sit on the front rows of either sides and known as frontbencher MPs. The rest are called backbencher MPs. This is where the drama of British politics happens. We focus UK MPs, that is Member of the Parliament representing House of Commons, which are elected in 2017 general elections, and ask two research questions. One, what are the spatial temporal dynamics of views and edits? And second, what is the quality of these edits and citation by measuring polarization and using citation quality model, about which I am going to talk later. To answer these research questions, we collect an extensive data set. Our dataset collectively include 160 million page views and 231,000 page edits recorded for these 650 MPs. Additionally, we collect page content from each section of MP's page, including a list of citations at the end. We also collect MP's information stored in the Wikidata, which is basically a powerhouse of information and known as knowledge base of the Wikipedia and its sister projects. This Wikidata acts as a central storage for the structured data and is freely available that can be passed using SparkQL query service. For example, here is an element of Wikidata statement about population of London. This structure has a property, that is population, linked with a value that is nearly 8 million and supported by qualifiers and references. The structure forms one statement about London stored in Wikidata, and from this service for each MP we fetch their party membership, political positions they held in their career like mayor, cabinet minister, prime minister, the constituency from where they get elected, homepage and social media links of the MP, and so forth. Now let's move on to our first research question, that is, what are the spatial temporal patterns on MP's Wikipedia pages? For understanding the temporal patterns, we focus on Wikipedia page views. Let us take an example of anticipated load on Theresa May. She was the Prime Minister from 2016 to 2019, so it is expected that being a popular politician, she has thousands of daily page views, which is shown in green in the figure on my right. But is this true for all MPs? No, it is not. There are some unexpected load times, like for MP Priti Patel in 2017 November, when she got involved in a controversy. During these shock times, MPs get more page views, edits, and more readers get interested in the topic and politicians. Priti Patel got nearly 500,000 page views in just one day, which is exponentially high than her daily average. To systematically study this across all MPs, we compare MPs page views with actors and football players in the UK. We find that average page views for actors in blue is mostly high than MPs in red. But during election times and recent events related to Brexit, in red, MPs gain more attention during these events. Both actors and MPs get more page views than footballers, where footballers gain their page views mostly during weekends. For the spatial engagement, we focus on the UK constituencies. Each of the 650 MP represents one of the constituencies in the UK. From the edits history, we obtain IP addresses which are publicly recorded for non-logged in users. We geolocate IPs by identifying coordinates, then postcodes from those coordinates, and finally constituencies of editors from those postcodes. With this pipeline, we geolocate 55,000 edits and find that 84% of edits are coming from the UK. London specifically has high contribution of edits, and the highest edit count is from City of London and Westminster constituency. This is an indicative of MP staff monitoring and managing their profile, which is also suggested in previous computational social science studies. While engagement in London is high, we see very low engagement from MPs with MPs page in terms of their own constituency edits. In research question 2, we are going to talk about what is the quality of edits and citations on these pages. To understand the quality, we first check if there is a polarization of edits and editors. Let us consider an example with 3 editors and 4 MPs, 2 of which are from Conservative and 2 are from Labour. Editor 1 edits only Conservative MPs, Editor 2 edits only Labour MPs, and Editor 3 mostly edit Conservative MPs. Since Editor 1 and 3 edit mostly Conservative MPs and have 2 MPs in common, we say they follow similar editing preferences. We quantify this at scale by comparing Jaccard coefficients, that is a measure of similarity across 2 vectors, by taking all editors in rows and MPs they edit in columns. We use these Jaccard similarity across editors and generate their network graph. We see 8 tightly knit communities, mostly of which refer to editors with same party preference. For more details, please check our paper. As we already saw that editors have a party preference, we ask if the citations added on MP's pages also polarized. On an average, each MP has 29 citations and majority of them are from news URLs. Using media bias fact check, we label each citation on MP's page as left, right and neutral and compute polarization as left leaning divided by right leaning plus left leaning. We find that there is a mild citation preference from the plot on my right. In red, Labour MP's pages tend to have more citations from their party-leaning news. We also see some extreme cases like Conservative only having citation from Conservative and vice versa, which can be seen at x is equals to 1 and x is equals to 0. Next, to understand the quality of citations on MP's pages, we make use of past studies of citation needed model. Citations are key element for monitoring information quality in Wikipedia. Here is an example excerpt from Prime Minister Boris Johnson's page stating details of him when he became Prime Minister of the UK. And at the bottom, you can see 2 citations for these statements. Taking page content of all MPs, which collectively have nearly 20,000 statements, we run on them citation needed model and compute percentage of statements missing a citation. We find that MPs who are considered as high-profile individuals generally have high citation quality, that is 83%, when compared to the other article categories of English Wikipedia. Sections like early life, career, and business interest still miss citation, which is roughly 15% in count. Finally, I would like to conclude the Quality and Dynamics of Wikipedia Pages of MPs, in which we collected views, edits, content, and Wikidata, and focused on two research questions. One, what are the spatio-temporal patterns on MP's pages, in which we saw that there are low retentions, which can be anticipated and unanticipated, and there are evidences of constituency engagement and engagement from London. The second research question, that is, what is the quality of edits and citations on these pages? We saw that there are polarization among editor and citations preference, as well as some sections still need some more citations in the pages. With this, I would like to stop and thank again my co-authors, audience for listening this, and people who are involved in this research. The dataset is available via this link, and you can follow us on Twitter.